Today we're diving into the extraordinary life and career of the one and only Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the musical genius who rocked the classical music scene like no other. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more awesome videos like this one. Let's go back to January 27th, 1756, when Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in the charming town of Salzburg, Austria. His dad, Leopold Mozart, was a musician and composer himself. He started teaching his daughter, Daneri, the keyboard when she was about 7. Young Mozart, just a small 3-year-old, watched in the background. It didn't take long to reveal that he was no ordinary child. Imagine the shock and surprise of his father and sister when he began to imitate his sister's practice without so much as a day of instruction. Talk about a prodigy in the making. As soon as Leopold discovered his son's talents, he went all in on Mozart's career. It is said that Mozart wrote his first pieces as early as 4 or 5 years old. He needed help from his father, but not with the musical conception, with holding the pencil. Soon, Mozart had become an accomplished keyboardist and violinist. Leopold took him on his first tour at the age of only 5. They traveled all over Europe, delighting and stunning audiences with Mozart's abilities. He could improvise music for hours in any style, and if he heard a piece of music, he could write it down exactly after only one listen. Though his father's tour schedule was relentless and demanding, Mozart was anything but some serious, brooding musician. He loved pranks and had a mischievous streak. During a visit to the court of Empress Maria Theresa of Austria, he reportedly couldn't resist climbing into her lap and snatching her wig off. By the time he was a teenager, Mozart was routinely cranking out symphonies, sonatas, and operas. Half of his symphonies were composed before he was 10 years old. Mozart's good humor was present in his compositions as well. One piece he wrote, Musical Joke, was even a satire of mistakes that other musicians often made. Before we talk more about Mozart's life, if you haven't already, take a minute to like and subscribe. Mozart quickly grew tired of life in Salzburg, especially the pay he was receiving there. In 1781, he moved to Vienna, a bustling hub for European classical music. Mozart loved hanging out in coffee houses, engaging in spirited conversations and debates with other artists and musicians. He had a razor-sharp wit and wasn't afraid to poke fun at himself, once even referring to himself as the composer of dances for donkeys. But when it came to money, Mozart wasn't exactly the best at managing his finances. Unlike many other musicians of his time, he didn't have a stable church position or a wealthy patron to finance him. He liked his freedom and hated being treated like a servant. So, though he was highly sought after as a performer and composer, his income was unstable. This did not match his notoriously lavish lifestyle at all. Mozart loved the finer things in life: expensive clothes, swanky accommodations, and extravagant parties. Budgeting? Not exactly his forte. Keeping track of his expenses? A foreign concept. He enjoyed showering his friends and family with gifts, and he loved to gamble too, sometimes betting way more than he could afford. Now, let's talk about love. Something of a celebrity of his time, he had plenty of romantic interests. At 17, he fell head over heels for a talented soprano named Aloysia Weber. While he was touring Italy, he became obsessed with her, writing her passionate letters and compositions. But in a cruel twist of fate, next time they met, she pretended she didn't know him. She had gotten married to someone else while he was gone, probably because she knew Mozart couldn't support her. An enraged Mozart sat down at a piano nearby and sang a vulgar tune with lyrics that essentially translated to, "Kiss my ass." But love has a funny way of working out. Ironically, he ended up falling in love with Aloysia's younger sister, Constance Weber. However, Mozart's dad was dead set against their marriage. Leopold wanted Mozart to marry rich or into nobility to raise their status. He knew Constance wouldn't bring enough money to the marriage to support Mozart's extreme lifestyle. He also thought that marriage would distract Mozart from his career. But Mozart couldn't care less. He defied his father and proposed to Constance anyway. The two got married in a small ceremony without Leopold's approval. The two lived a happy life together, despite financial hardship and some questionable female friendships that Mozart had. The guy certainly had charisma. Mozart's career peaked in the 1780s. During this time, he composed his 3 most famous operas, which are still beloved today: The Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and The Magic Flute. He was famous all over Europe and took commissions from a number of wealthy patrons, but his financial situation remained unstable till the end. Mozart died tragically at only 35 in 1791. His death remains a topic of speculation and debate. His health had not been good in his final years, yet he continued to work and was actually extremely prolific just before his death. Many believe that Mozart died of complications from rheumatic fever, while others suggest more mysterious conspiracy theories, like possible poisoning. The most popular poisoning suspect is Antonio Salieri, a rival composer who butted heads with Mozart, even once accusing him of stealing his work. But there is no clear evidence to support this, and no official autopsy was conducted. Mozart's premature death left a void in the classical music world. His funeral was modest, attended by friends and family. He was buried in an unmarked grave, a sad end to such a flamboyant career. But eventually, his grave was discovered, and appropriately marked. Today, he is one of Vienna's biggest claims to fame. Thanks for watching our video. For more content like this, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel.